Hi, guys. So, I figure it's kind of my job now that I spoke out about certain things to help teach other people who might be going through some sort of awakening or enlightenment through their own journeys. That's part of what we're all supposed to do as we go through ours because it's ever growing. You're always learning, you're always going to go through more. Um, I thought you can only have one dark night of the soul. I was wrong. I had another one. You can also have another big spiritual awakening, even though you've had your first one, when you're like really, really elevating at a quick rate. But today's video, I just wanted to touch on the beginning steps, okay? I'm going to start small. The only topic today will be signs and synchronicities so that people can understand what they mean for your own life and how you're supposed to apply them. We all get our own signs and synchronicities. And what will happen and how you know you've begun the awakening process is you will start to notice the same numbers repeating all the time. Like whether it's on your social media, whether like for me, I do a lot of stock stuff, it'll be like people posting their percentages of their gains and stuff like that. And I'm like, that number and that number, and then that number and that number, it always equals the same types of numbers, like my birthday or someone else's birthday or some specific date or whatever it is. Everybody has their own meanings. But that is your spirit guides, the universe, whoever, sending you signals that you're supposed to see for your own life, that you're supposed to acknowledge. All of us get different ones. It's part of the awakening process. So usually social media will speak to you, not only just through numbers, but you will see things like that, whether it's your birthday, the month of your birth, the person that maybe you think you're supposed to be with, their birthday. You will see very specific numbers that add up, that hold meaning to you on repeat in all different ways. On repeat. Sometimes you can even look through your own timeline on social media and be like, you can go backwards and be like, oh my God, even I was posting these patterns and didn't realize I was doing it. That again is another sign of the world speaking to you. You're supposed to be getting these things. Nobody can force that on you. You're going to overlook things at first, but then the more it continues, it becomes harder to overlook. It becomes everywhere. It'll be on a license plate. It will be when you're out to eat. It'll be on the receipt of something. Those are the numerical signs. A lot of other signs you'll get will be songs, especially if you're a musically inclined person. Some people are not. But I am. You don't go looking for it. You can't just like be looking around for it. But you could be in a grocery store and all of a sudden this song comes on that might remind you of a specific instance or a specific somebody. And you'll get that feeling like, this is weird. Or a new song will come on that you never heard before. And it literally sounds like it's directly speaking to you, or it's you speaking to a specific person. Those moments, that is actually spirit, universe, whoever, sending that to you. For a reason, to again signal you on a path in your life. Signs and synchronicities are to let us know, especially if we're taking the wrong path. Here it is smacking you in your face every day. This is what you need to be doing. If you are on the right path, they give us signs and signals to encourage us along that way, and then they will grow more and more and help show us that yes, you are on the right path. Besides just music and numbers, it will be, especially on social media nowadays, I see like little commercials or clips of things, quotes. You just automatically know. The more you get them, the more you just know. You know the bullshit ones that aren't meant for you, and you could scroll right past, and you know the ones that are like, are you kidding me? Especially animal ones. Like, for instance, I had a bear in my backyard 2 weeks ago. I kid you not, I never saw like bear anything before that. Now I'm seeing bear shit everywhere. but it will have specific meaning to me of whatever the bear's doing or whatever's going on. And it's kind of with a petty twist, and it's funny, and it signals me on what I'm supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, those types of things that before you were ever awakened, you would just be looking at social media. Your brain would never even look at those things. Besides just the numerics of, like I said, for me, stock-wise, people's percentages a lot of the time would be a big one. There will also be numerically crazy, like how many likes you got on a particular post. It's just nuts. How many likes, how many comments. I start now, like, if there'll be like a weird random person that I didn't even know followed me, that just the name of the person makes me be like, huh? And then I'll click on their page real quick and I'll look at their bio and I'll be like, there ain't no way. I'll look at their bio and it'll be like the date of birth, the whole shit the bio says, how many followers they got, or what their birthday is, whatever it is. It'll just be something that stands out to you that you're like, you just know. That is a sign. You just know. If you feel like you're on the wrong path with something in your life, the universe is going to shove that in your face, all over your timeline, from all different areas. Even people that don't know about your awakening process, there could be, the whole world doesn't have to know about your awakening process. You will see it. Your friends will start liking things. It'll show up on your news feed and it'll be something to guide you off that path. Like, it just will. I was a person, like, if I don't stay in like an exercise routine, I could just sit there and I could like get depressed. I could just like want to lay in bed and not get up. Like, that's always like my biggest like thing, like where I can get stuck for a little bit. I can get isolated and stuck. That's my personal downfall. And when I'm going through something like that, then I'm going to see a whole bunch of like exercise commercials and eat healthy commercials, and you need to be getting up and doing this type of things on my news feed like nonstop. And it's like, all right, I got it. You have to listen in a way. It just will not stop. But you don't have to listen, but it'll haunt you. If you are a person that overindulges, for instance, I used to smoke cigarettes many, many years ago. I don't anymore, but I know a couple of people going through this process that smoke cigarettes a lot, and they're like, it's everywhere. It's all over my freaking newsfeed about stop smoking, or somebody smoking and looking like shit, whatever it is. It's just funny. If you're a drinker, you might start seeing drunk driving things, all these things that are out of your control, that are not coming from one person, that are coming from all over people you surround yourself with in your life, your personal, your business, your whoever. You will see it. You won't be able to help it. That's how you will know, all right, this shit's not a joke anymore. I have to listen to my own gut, my own intuition. The world is fucking speaking to me. But again, if you're not a person that even started the awakening process, you would never even look at those things. You would never second guess it. But once you are, you just dig a little deeper. You just notice it in a different kind of way. You don't go look. You don't ever have to go looking for it, ever. You would just notice it in a different kind of way. I suggest, if you're somebody that might think you're going through an awakening, the best way to kind of test yourself to know if it started is not worry about what anybody else is doing. Don't worry about the person you think you're meant to be, or the person you are with, or your mother, or your father, or your brother, or your sister, or your best friend, or whoever. Don't look at their page. Look at yours. Look at what you've been posting on your social media for the last however long. Look at very closely at the things that you've said. Look at the numbers, if there's any numbers on there. Look at those numbers. Look at the terms you're using when you're speaking. Does that sound like the old you, something you would say? What is going on? It's very clear to see when you look at yourself. It's a mirror. So if you can't believe it, or you're a person of logic that refuses to believe it, the best thing to do is look at yourself, because, you can't lie to yourself, right? We don't notice when we're doing these things because we slowly start to change on our own, and we don't even realize why it's happening or what's changing in us, and it gets confusing. So that's just something that I recommend that will help guide you on, okay, I guess I started my journey. If the boxes check, and you do that on your own platforms, and you look to Whatever you're posting, you look at the numbers, you look at whatever part speaks out to you. The comments, all of it. You will know. You will know. It's a knowing. And if you know, if you did not go through what's called a spiritual psychosis yet, good luck to you. Because there's no escaping it. You're going to go through a very big awakening after a bunch of little mini-series ones. Mine happened back in June. It lasted 4 days. Some people, that shit lasts 6 months, 9 months. I'm so thankful and grateful that it did not for me. Because it is mentally not something fun when you have so many realizations about what's really going on. It's your brain, it's hard to handle. Because you're expanding parts of your mind that have not been used. And you're actually like learning that, holy shit, everything that I've been taught is a lie. And everything I'm looking at is the truth. And now I have to completely change my life around because I can't know this truth. My old ways don't work anymore. And if you go through that alone, it's very hard to do. It's deep. You will feel in a depression, an anxiety mess. You will freak out. You can get physically ill too. You can get hot, then you'll be cold 1 minute. Stomach problems, Pepto and Tylenol is going to be your best friend. Seriously. Headaches, you will start getting ascension symptoms, which will be headaches. You will get ringing in your ears. Those are all physical symptoms that you can experience. Doesn't mean you're going to. It just means a lot of us do. And they don't stop. They usually happen sporadically as we keep growing higher and higher and we learn more and more and we go further on with our journey. But that's the basic gist of it. If you have not been through that spiritual psychosis, small, little, hopefully short, it's usually in the beginning once you get that click. Because at first it's like, nah, this is full of shit. This isn't true. But eventually you're going to get that click, you know? And once that clicks, that's going to set you off. And that's when you're going to want to be in contact with somebody who has been through it. You're not going to want to be alone. It's not a good idea for you to be alone. Because it is really hard to understand. And anybody around you will not be able to understand if they have not been through an awakening. They can want to take you to a mental hospital, everything. There's no doctor that will be able to help you. This is like not a joke. There's no medication that can help you. When you go through that, you have to just go through it on your own. I didn't even attempt to go to a doctor. There was nobody that was there was nothing and nobody. You just have to go through it. You have to go through it. And you'll get out of it on the other side. Hopefully in one piece. But you have to go through it. Because those first 4 days, I was getting all the signs, all the numbers, everything. And I thought I cracked the whole code already in those first 4 days. And it's like, nope, it's still cracking every day. You see things one way and then it's like another twist and turn. And it's like, nope, that wasn't that puzzle piece. It was really distorted. It goes like this. We're not meant to know everything all at one time. You're not meant to figure it all out all at one time. It'll keep unfolding for us throughout this process. It will. But the more you surrender, the more easy it becomes. The more resistance you give, the much harder it becomes for your life because they will corner you with it. They will make everything that you don't want to happen to you to make you wake up and be like a slap in the face, like look and look and look at the signs. What are you doing with your life? You're not doing what you were called to do. So I hope this helps somebody. I know there's tons of people. There's well over at least, and this is just from what I hear, at least well over 100,000 people right now that this has happened to. I know just personally online on my social media platforms, I've personally spoken to at least 200 to 300 people that this is happening to. So I can definitely confirm it's not just a few people. This is a lot of people. And it's not something people like to openly speak about. But see, the reason I'm openly talking about it is because I felt like I suffered so much alone. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand. And I didn't have anybody to go to, and I didn't really have any video to watch. I mean, I had one spiritual advisor that I would go to, but he's the type that is like, you got to just learn as you go, and he does not baby you at all. It's like a boot camp. He'd be like, nope, I don't feel bad for you. You did it to yourself, type of a thing. So I did not get babied. I did not have somebody to hold my damn hand. I did not have anybody to save me at any part, any twist, any turn. And I guess it was better that way. But for me, it's like, I'm still a nurturer. I still want to help because I know what it's going to feel like when people go through this. And I know you start questioning yourself. It's hard. But just know you're not alone. There's so many people out there going through the same thing. So again, signs and synchronicities, number patterns, that type of thing. If you want to know if you're going through it, forget everybody else's shit. Look at your own. Look at your own. Look at the numbers on your own, numbers you might be posting, the words you're using, the terminology you're using. Is it different from a year ago? Is it different from whenever? That's what you really have to look at. And, anybody has any issues with anything or questions about something, I will do my best to make myself available because I always want to help people through this. I don't want to see anybody suffering. I still have to suffer sometimes. It's still a lot sometimes. It's hard too as you progress and you become more knowledgeable and you start getting a knowing of things you don't want to even know about. There's things you find out that you don't want to know about that aren't about you. And you're like, why do I have to know that? Like, what? But you don't always know the answer right then and there. You won't be given the answer right then and there. Eventually, you'll be shown why. The worst thing you can do is fear it and resist it. Because take it from somebody who knows. If it is happening to you, you cannot fear it. You cannot resist it. You have to just let it be. And as you let it be and let it become a part of you, you can learn how to turn the switch off and on when you need to. But if you try to run away from it or deny it, it is going to be like attacking you. And you can't. And it makes it really hard. So I try my best when I know somebody, because I know multiple people that are going through this, to try to guide them because I know what's coming. I want to help them. But I know now I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm going to do it this way because the world needs these videos. And they'll find the right people eventually. If whoever is interested in this topic, it will find the people that need the help. The more you understand it, the easier it's going to be, the less stressful it's going to be on your life, the less anxiety you will get, the easier it becomes to deal with, the less you will be talking to people about it that won't understand, that are going to think you're crazy, or you have to be afraid you're going to be judged. You will meet the right people, you'll have the right circle, you'll be able to talk to people openly about things, and you'll be able to understand why. The why this is happening is very important, but you can't really grasp or know the why until after you go through all the other steps. It'll be like brain overload. So I hope everybody's hanging in there who is going through this. I hope you do take the time to look at your own things, to be able to decipher if you are going through this. And again, I'm always here if anybody needs some sort of guidance, a little bit of guidance, or has questions about something. I have not reached peak at all. So I'm still learning myself. I'm still fucking up and making mistakes myself. But I'll always do the best to help people if they're going through something that I have went through. And I can help guide you through. So hope everybody has a happy Sunday. I've got stuff to do now. I love you guys.